If you're just starting out with investing and learning about money, here are some books that personally helped me and may help you too. These are a lot of books, so I have picked out 5 that have really stood out for me. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned investor, these 5 are sure to help you whatever stage of the journey that you're on. Most people have many misconceptions about wealth. They don't know how to define it or what it takes to become wealthy. They have a misleading image of millionaires and how they live. In The Millionaire Next Door, authors Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko counter the myths and sketch the portrait of an average millionaire, which could be living in your own neighborhood. They explain that many more Americans could become millionaires by adopting the habits and the traits common among them. And for decades, the authors studied and profiled America's millionaires. And this was 3% of the population with a net worth of more than $1 million, who account for more than half of the country's personal wealth. Now, although this book was first published in 1996, the principles the authors identify for how to accumulate wealth and ultimately achieve financial independence are still applicable. Now, I guess the popular image of a wealthy person is someone who has a high income occupation, or maybe benefited from inheritance, and this person displays all the symbols of wealth. So that could be like a big house or expensive cars, luxury clothing, private schools, and so on. But that image describes a big spender rather than an accumulator of wealth. Wealth is different from income. Your income is what you earn, your wealth is what you accumulate. If you make a lot of money and spend it all, you're not wealthy. You're living a high consumption lifestyle. When it comes to wealth, appearances can be deceiving. High income people can work hard yet live paycheck to paycheck, not accumulating any wealth. And hard-working people with modest incomes can accumulate great wealth. Many higher income people wonder why they aren't rich. They feel like they can barely keep up with expenses. And many lower income people can feel the exact same way. Neither type of household could survive more than a few months without a paycheck. But if you start young and embrace the right habits, you have a better chance of accumulating enough wealth. Now, the millionaires in this book could maintain their lifestyle for years without a paycheck, so they're financially independent. They didn't inherit their wealth from their families, and more than 80% of them accumulated it over their lifetime. They're all self-made business people who lived in the same town for most of their adult lives. They own a business and live in a modest neighborhood. And the key to their success is living a lifestyle that makes it possible for them to build wealth. The author's research found average millionaires with these common characteristics. They live beneath their means, they use their time and money efficiently to build wealth, they're prioritizing attaining financial independence over displaying social status, they're skilled at identifying investment opportunities, they choose the right line of work, and in addition to that, they didn't inherit their wealth, they built it, so 80% are first generation millionaires. Many are self-employed, they're entrepreneurs or professional in unexciting fields, and they accumulate wealth by investing in assets that grow while reducing taxable income. A Random Walk Down Wall Street is designed as an accessible guide to financial markets for the individual investor. Now, the author is an economist with years of experience on Wall Street. The book covers everything from buying life insurance to pricing commodities, but for the most part, the author's focus is on common stocks, shares in individual firms, and the stock market. The author offers a wealth of information that investors can use to make individual investments on their own. He repeatedly emphasizes the advantages of index investing. If you only take one thing away from A Random Walk Down Wall Street, it should be this: investors are better off putting their money in a passively managed index fund, a total market index fund to be precise, than trading stocks themselves or investing in actively managed mutual funds. For example, an investor put down $10,000 into an S&P 500 index fund in 1969 would have had over $1 million in their portfolio by April 2018, which assumes all dividends were reinvested. An investor put the same amount of money into an actively managed fund would have only made over $800,000. The first part of the book covers various key financial concepts. For example, out of the many concepts he mentions is the modern portfolio theory. He explains how this modern portfolio theory builds on the efficient market hypothesis, which holds that stock prices already reflect all the relevant information. Now, according to EMH, no analyst can determine whether a stock is undervalued or overvalued, meaning there's no way for an analyst to beat the market. The only way to realize greater returns is to take on more risk. Now, the modern portfolio theory offers the strategy of managing that risk, and that is diversification. A diversified portfolio is one that features holdings in a variety of industries, countries, and asset classes. The idea is that when your holdings in one industry, country, or asset suffer, your holdings in other industries and assets will offset your losses. Now, the author Burton, who accepts EMH as a given, is a firm believer in the benefits of diversification, especially international diversification. Part 2 of the book is valuable for both novice and experienced investors alike, and the author gives 10 principles that are essential to realizing returns. To understand why you have money problems, why you're heavily in debt and can never seem to make ends meet or handle emergencies, is look in the mirror. Your financial situation is the result of your behavior, according to the author Dave Ramsey. In the Total Money Makeover, Ramsey lays out a program for freeing yourself from debt and money worries by changing your behavior, which is following a monthly budget, buying only what you can afford, eliminating debt, saving for emergencies, and investing. The program is intended for everyone, from high earners to people who are thousands of dollars in debt. The Total Money Makeover motto is, live differently from everyone else in the present so that you can live differently from everyone else in the future. This means that to live a better life than most people, you need to do what most people won't do, which is make sacrifices now for the payoff for financial security later. The fix for your financial situation isn't a bigger salary or a better job, but acknowledging that your poor financial decisions are your fault and changing your behavior. This book lays out what you need to do, but stresses that only you can do it. People who get into financial trouble do so in part because they believe a whole host of societal myths about debt and money that encourage taking on debt and spending in order to buy things that they can't afford. And one of the biggest myths is that debt is normal. Debt has become so ingrained in our culture that most people can't imagine living without it. We don't know how to get a car, buy a home, or go to college without debt. And most people can't imagine living without a credit card. Financial institutions and other lenders aggressively push you to borrow because they benefit from when you owe them money. So really it's saying you need to reject the view that debt is normal before you can get control of your finances. And the central tenet of the Total Money Makeover program is living debt-free and buying only what you can afford. Personal finance can be confusing and overwhelming, but if you focus on taking one small step at a time, you can create a solid financial foundation. Once your finances are under control, you won't have to worry about money and you can focus on creating a life that you love. The author of I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi is a self-taught expert in personal finances. His goal is to help you cut through the noise of conflicting and overly technical financial advice, get past your own hang-ups around money, and take small steps towards a rich life. The book explains how you can make that life a reality by using credit cards wisely, choosing the right bank accounts and investment accounts, planning out how you want to spend your money, and ultimately creating a financial system that grows your money automatically. Now, what specifically stood out for me was his system for mapping out your spending. This involves dividing your take-home pay into 4 major areas. First one being fixed costs. So fixed monthly costs are your necessities, rent, mortgage payments, groceries, and so on. Add up the total of all your monthly costs, then add 15% to cover unexpected expenses like car repairs, tickets, or emergencies. Ideally, your fixed costs should total about 50 to 60% of your monthly take-home pay. The next category is investments. This includes contributions to your 401k, Roth IRA, pensions, and any other long-term investment accounts. So investments should be about 10% of your take-home pay. Savings goals. This category is for all your savings goals, from short-term like a holiday to long-term like a house. Plan 5 to 10% of your monthly take-home pay for savings. Guilt-free spending. Any money that you have left over after accounting for all the other categories goes into the guilt-free spending category. This is money you get to use however you like with zero guilt, because you know you've already paid for your bills and funded your future through savings and investments. Ideally, this category will have 20 to 35% of your take-home pay. Once this has been done, he advises to automate your financial system, because now that you have a system of spending your money that works for you, it's time to start automating that plan so that your money divides up itself each month without you having to lift a finger. So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport. This is a career advice book that challenges the conventional wisdom of following your passion and suggests that passion is not necessarily the key to finding fulfilling work. Newport argues that instead of searching for pre-existing passion, individuals should focus on developing rare and valuable skills that can lead to autonomy, mastery, and purpose in their careers. This book is divided into 4 main parts. The first one is the passion hypothesis. Newport critiques the idea that passion should be the driving force behind one's career choices. He argues that this mindset can lead to satisfaction and that passion often follows mastery rather than preceding it. The second one is the craftsman's mindset. Newport introduces the concept of the craftsman's mindset, which emphasizes deliberate practice, continuous learning, and the pursuit of excellence in one's field. He suggests that adopting this mindset is crucial for building a fulfilling career. Third one is the career capital theory. Newport introduces the idea of career capital, which refers to the rare and valuable skills, knowledge, and experience that individuals accumulate over time. He says that building career capital is essential for achieving autonomy and control over one's career. And the fourth one is the importance of control. Newport emphasizes the importance of autonomy and control in creating a satisfying career. He says that individuals should focus on getting career capital capital and leveraging it to gain control of their working environment. So overall, So Good They Can't Ignore You provides advice for people who want to build successful and fulfilling careers by focusing on developing valuable skills and gaining control over their professional lives. I hope you found this useful. I've linked all the books down below in the description. I also have another list of books over here which you may like to check out.